Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Welcome to the good life.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we are here to grow your mind, grow your pockets, and we are going to create generational wealth. And one of the ways we do that is paying attention to the way that we vote. I know we talk about it every Monday, and now we're just going to take a slightly different look at it today. I have my partner in voting, Telly Medina, on the line, who always drops the information for us. Good morning, Telly. How are you? Welcome to The Good Life.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we doing?
I am doing fabulous. I had a great weekend, and I'm going to tell you why I had a great weekend. I found this little book. Well, not that I found it. I kind of just touched it again. Like, you know how you buy that book like weeks ago, and then you finally open it up and start reading it? Well, the book is the life-changing, oh gosh, I got the title, but the life-changing, basically, how tidiness can change your life, the life-changing act of tidying, something like that. It's on the New York bestseller list.
Why are you telling us you're reading the book and you don't even know the name of the book?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the I'm going to get it for you right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
See, messing around. But the point is the life-changing act of tidying. And tidying your life, how you can really change your mind, your attitude, everything when you open your mind and you clear out all the clutter. That's basically the premise of it. And how when you simplify things in your life, how much more present and aware you become. Well, I think that really applies to voting and paying attention to what we do. When we, there's a lot of, I don't want to say politicians, but politicians and groups and everybody else that like to bog you down with all of this, that, and the other and make you focus on all the other things. They give you like a cloud and smog and, what are they diverting your attention to and from? Well, right now we have a very important time. And we are in the presidential election and campaign year. And if people were really paying attention last week when they had when the affirmative action case was in the Supreme Court, did you hear about the comments that Justice Scalia made?
Scalia. Uh-huh.
I'm sure you're well aware of that. And so I want to clear the fog a little bit. We want to tidy things up and pay attention to how Scalia got his job. How did he get his appointment? Telly, how did Scalia get his appointment? Who appoints him?
Well, it is a presidential appointment that comes from the Supreme Court. Usually, due to process as people make it up, people move up through courts, maybe starting at a civil district court, for example, then Court of Appeal, maybe the Supreme Court in that particular state, and then moving up to a federal appointment, and then you're kind of within succession to be picked during that time frame. To get to the comments, that was pretty harsh, won't you say?
You think?
That African American students cannot thrive at not necessarily white universities, but universities that are stringent, that have high academic rigor. Now, initially, I saw some of my frat brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha come on and say at the New York Cornell University, we've been doing this. And I saw there was a lot of hashtags. Was it Stay Mad Abby, talking about the individual and looking at her saying, well, maybe her academic prowess isn't that good. Maybe she should go to a smaller school or a school that she could possibly get into. But voting, just in that regard, it's so significant because at the end of the day, isn't it quite a slap in the face to suggest that black folk can't get into some schools? It's almost as significant as hearing Donald Trump talk about Muslims in a fashion that suggests that they're all terrorists or they're out to do us wrong.
Exactly.
I even had a conversation with a older white guy, and I like to talk to everybody about politics and just kind of gauge what that thought process is. From Telly Jr., who's 7, who heard something at school, to somebody who's 77.
Right.
And the guy said something along the line of, well, we just got to be conscious of who's coming in this country. And I said, well, man, do you have any Muslim doctors? Oh, yeah, Dr. Muhammad is a good dude. Really? And I said, okay. And I said, well, any pharmacists that you may know, any engineers, a variety of things. And that isn't just to lump Muslims who are in a certain sect. I think that there's some type of racial tolerance or just moral discourse that would suggest to you as an adults, not kids. We're not talking about Aiden, who's still a kid who has time to make mistakes and gather his thoughts. But we're talking about an adult. And as an adult, you should be able to say to yourself that each and every person clearly may not be doing something wrong to be able to hurt or harm the country. I understand that, we are fearful of Muslims and saying that we don't need to let people in. I'm glad no one said that about Christopher Columbus, because Native Americans might have a bone to pick with us.
Right, exactly.
But with that said, voting as it ties into this is so significant, because not just in presidential elections, and even though presidents make these appointments, but the people who you put in office may be life and death over your life. If in Chicago right now you disagree with the way that these two, what is perceived as one being a murder, was handled with these young people, you can say to yourself, well, man, why did we vote Rahm Emanuel in the first place? I'm not saying whether Mayor Emanuel needs to leave or not. What I am saying is that if now you have a problem with him and you voted him in office because he was going to be the best intended person, then is it now time to make a change midway because you no longer have faith? The most important part about right now, and I'll go to faith because I went to 2 church services yesterday, Brandon Bhutan and Greater St. Stephen talked about faith. Mm-hmm. Now is not the time in Chicago to say, oh, he's just like the rest of them and we're not going to vote anymore. No. Quite the contrary. Now is the time to say, well, maybe this is still the right guy for leadership and I want him to stay in office and I'm going to participate and be active, or hell no, he must go, and now it's time to move on without him. That's that testament. That's that voting each and every day thing that we're concerned about.
Absolutely. And the book is the life-changing magic of tidying up. And that's basically exactly what we need to do in our government.
What page you on, Eileen? What page you on?
I finished the book. Thank you. It's the life-changing magic of tidying up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. And that's exactly what we need to do in our minds and in our government. And that's why we vote. With the comments of Scalia last week, and I'm going to give you some of the comments verbatim. Scalia went on to say that there were people who would contend that it does not benefit African Americans, and he was specific, to get them into University of Texas where they do not do well, as opposed to having them go to a less advanced school, a slower track school where they do well. And he also argued that most of the black scientists in this country don't come from schools like the University of Texas. They come from lesser schools where they do not feel that they are being pushed ahead in classes that are too fast for them. And so I just really wanted to kind of touch on that point to go back to who we elect as president and why it's important to vote, because the person who is elected as president appoints these people. We don't necessarily vote for these justices. We do not vote for them. They are appointed positions. And this election coming up is so important because I believe we have like 3 or 4, I think 4 justices that are in their upper 70s. So
that is correct.
Right. So this is a time, and this presidency is going to have the possibility of changing the Supreme Court. So we're right. So we need to look at this holistically and not just who we're voting as president. The president of the United States has the biggest influence on departments and agencies of the executive branch through his appointments, his or hers, let me say that, appointment powers. The president has the authority to fill the most critical positions within the United States government. So you're not just voting for this, that, or the other. You're voting for all of these different things through one vote. Your vote is so powerful, and we really need to pay attention to everything that we're voting for. And we need to vote our interest. And you can't just say, we talk about block voting, but this is something you really need to look at holistically. Right, Telly?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So say when you vote, for example, if you vote for mayor, if you voted for Miss Landry, for example, you can almost say, even though that person wasn't voted in, that you voted for who the police chief is, You had an opportunity to vote for the individuals who are going to be in the city attorney's office who take care of the city's business, the person who may be the position used to be CEO, how we're going to maintenance and how we're going to finance fixing streets, who's going to, what, you know, usually we know that our trash pickup is on certain days, but making sure we maintain that. The person who's going to regulate and deal with energy on how we have lights in the homes, who's a water board, how we're going to have water, all those things. Just like in Washington, D.C., you may be voting, if you vote for the president, then you're kind of making the decision who may be the second in line, if they're running together, who the vice president is going to be,
Absolutely.
who's going to be the treasurer, who's going to be the person who's going to monitor and look over your money, who's going to be the attorney general, the person who's going to monitor what's happening in Chicago, what happened in Ferguson. This morning, we don't know. We unfortunately at 4:32, I think this morning, we had a police shooting in New Orleans East, which is still under investigation. We know that there was the person expired and was killed, and prayerfully the officer is all right and that things were okay and it went well. And we continue to pray for NOPD every single day, twice a day, for the job that they're having to do under the circumstances. But who those persons are is extremely important. John Bell Letworth, pick Kim Robinson to be the person who's going to lead his Treasury Department, an African-American woman running the finances essentially for the state of Louisiana.
Right.
Those things are significant. So it isn't just that person who's on the top. You can go talk to, you know, the person who's at the top, and they may not know all the different details. You have to vote and know each and every person who's a part of that process. That's why it's so important.
And I'm just going to give you some of the departments that you need to pay attention to. And if some of these hit home for you, this is why you vote. The Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce, the Department of Defense, the Department of Education, the Department of Energy, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, Housing and Urban Development, the Department of the Interior, Department of Labor, Department of State, Transportation, Treasury, Veterans Affairs, and not only those, but you have the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Director of Management and Budget, the Director of the National Drug Control Policy, and the U.S. Trade Representative. There are all of these independent agencies that you are voting for with this one vote. This is a powerful vote. So if you are big into environmental and protecting the environment and our coastline, you need to look at the president's policies on that. You need to look on their stance on that. The person running, you need to look at all of these things, not just, oh, I like them for this one thing. They also choose all of these people, and it's so vitally important for us to really pay attention to who we vote for, because these elections are really going to affect our future, not just for 4 years, but for years and years to come. It is vitally important that we vote. This is why we vote. These next couple months, the first 15, we're going to start talking about why we vote. This is why we vote, y'all, because it's not just voting for president. It's voting for all of these positions in one quick swoop. Go ahead, Tally.
We're gonna have congressional races coming up next year, right?
Yes.
And when we look at the second congressional district, we know we're represented by Congressman Richmond, but looking at all of the different races, you may be in part of Jefferson, you may be represented by Congressman Scalise, and other parts going southwestern, Congressman Bustani. What's going to happen with the Senate race? We saw polls that went out today that one of the polls had Treasurer Kennedy ahead in the Senate race, and then one of the polls said that Mitch Landrieu, who's our mayor, said that he would not run, but that his numbers were extremely high in order to run for those races. I mean, it's one thing to have that person at the top, and I know in a place like New Orleans, where we're used to talking with the top dog, the mayor, that's significant. But what is also significant is the people who are surrounding. I look at, for example, in an appointment like, who may be superintendent, who's monitoring the schools. That's important, and
Absolutely.
That person helps with the finances. But you need to know who the principal, assistant principal, the person who's over, discipline. What's going at the school? So it's one large system. So when you vote, you're voting for the entire system, and hopefully so that system can do well by you.
Exactly. While the president yields a great political power, obviously, only Congress can write legislation. So next week, we're going to really get into Congress and what they do and how your vote affects that and why we vote for Congress, why we pay attention to these elections because of the legislation that they produce. We're going to get into all of these throughout the course of this next year because, you know, that is the good life. And we really need to understand why we vote and how it affects us, because if we understand how it affects us, maybe we'll get out and push those numbers up. And that's the good life, y'all. When we get right back, we're going to discuss how we can become a millionaire by 65 and how much you need to save every day at every year, depending on how old you are, to become a millionaire. Who wants to be a millionaire? I know I do. We'll talk about it when we get right back. This is Good Life, y'all. Stay tuned.
How much insurance is enough?
What kind of insurance should I purchase? What company should I choose?
To get answers to these questions, tune in each Monday from 2 to 3 p.m. to Insurance Concepts and Planning in the 21st Century. Brought to you by the Underwriters Group on WBOK 1230 AM, Real Talk for Real Time.
Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit? At KB Enterprises, they specialize in restoring your score. Learn how to increase your credit score with 100% satisfaction guarantee. A+ rating with the BBB, 10-year track record of removing negative items including repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, student loans, and more. Kenneth Barnes and his team at KB Enterprises are excited about helping you restore your credit and achieving your financial goals. Whether it's acquiring a home or purchasing a car, don't miss this opportunity to change your life forever. For more info, give them a call at 504-577-4139. Log on to www.kennethbarnes.org and be sure to tune into The Good Life on Money Mondays and get your financial tips for the week from Kenneth Barnes so you can live the good life too.
CGI is a full-service security company headquartered in New Orleans with over 20 years of experience with expertise in armed and unarmed guards, video surveillance, camera installation, remote monitoring, behavioral analytics, access control, VIP service, and event security. CGI can safeguard any corporate or government environment. CGI offers the most advanced technology designed to simplify security. CGI is currently seeking armed security officers with at least 2 years experience. Well-trained armed security officers who are interested in immediate hire must visit our website, www.cgiprotects.com, to complete an online application. Interested persons must be at least 21 years of age, well-groomed, have a high school diploma, must pass a criminal background check, drug screening, and must be dependable. If you or someone you know is interested in immediate hire, please apply online at www.cgiprotects.com. CGI, security that never blinks.
Hello?
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
Listen to the New Orleans Imperative, the only radio show in New Orleans that focuses on public education. Every Monday, 10 a.m., listen in, hear the real news. The New Orleans Imperative.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we are here to get your mind right. We are here to get your pockets right, and we are here to create generational wealth, because that's exactly what The Good Life is all about. We are here on the line with Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises. Welcome to The Good Life, Kenneth. How are you?
I am great and excited.
Are you? How was your weekend?
It was great. Phenomenal weekend.
What did you do? Look, I'm all up in your business on the air.
I was actually in Atlanta, had some fun, but also had to see some clients out there. So it was always a great trip, helping people out, get their finances in order, but also got a chance to enjoy a little Christmas shopping out there, too, and Linden's Mall. So that's always a good thing.
That's always a good thing, as long as you stay within your budget, right?
No doubt. I'm always shopping for the discount.
Well, I spent my weekend actually studying for my first 6th grade midterm, so that was fun this weekend. And we did use Quizlet, so I want to shout out to Quizlet. Everyone out there who has kids studying for exams, Quizlet, I'm not kidding, that is the good life. It saves you time, your child time, and it really is interactive, and it's a great way to study if you're looking for that. But I also spent my weekend, while he was doing that, I was reading a book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. And it literally has changed my life. Basically, you put all of your clothes, I mean, like everything, and you go through each item in your house and by category. Let's just start with clothes. Put all of your clothes, everything that you have, literally everything you have, in one big pile. It was Kenneth, I was like, I don't believe this. But anyway, and then you pick up each piece and you're like, does it bring me joy? If it does not spark,
wow.
Exactly. If it does not spark joy, you put it in the to-go pile. It literally has to spark joy. And y'all know those clothes that you put on, it just makes you happy, makes you feel good. If it's not one of those pieces or items of clothing, get rid of it. And long story short, what the process helps you do is it helps in your decision making. Because you literally have to go through each thing. And how you create a better decision-making style is doing what? Making decisions. So if you go through each item that you have in your house and you decide, does this spark joy? Your decision-making process improves. And while you're doing this, you're getting rid of fear. You're getting rid of everything in the past. And you're also realizing what you're stuck on and what you're kind of wishing for in the future, but you may not be there yet. Because, I'm gonna keep this item of clothing because I'm gonna lose 20 pounds or I'm gonna lose with this or that. You know, everybody has that situation. But I can't tell you how many bags of clothes I got rid of, but let's just say I'm streamlined and I'm really excited about it. And getting dressed this morning was very quick, and I'm happy and I'm sparking joy. I walked in here and Lee was like, Eileen, why you look so nice? Oh, because I'm sparking joy. Right, Lee? He's not even paying attention to me. He's laughing on the computer. Anyway, so the point of this conversation is that we need to spark joys in ourselves, and we really need to do something that leads to the good life and opens our minds to the possibility of living differently in the world. And my sister sent me an article this morning that was like a perfect opening for this. It was an article by Josh Linkner, and the article was about your single best investment for 2016. Kenneth, can you guess what the single best investment is for 2016?
Yourself?
Yes! How did you guess? See, because that's the good life. That is exactly the good life. You know, he pulls up a quote from Warren Buffett, and he goes, investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. Nobody can tax it or take it away from you. If you maximize your talent, you've got a tremendous asset that can return tenfold. And that was from Warren Buffett. They say stocks can go up and down, deals can collapse, but investments in your own growth and development are the surest best around. So the best bet, the single best investment for 2016 is yourself. And so that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. We are going to focus on how much money you need to save each and every day to become a millionaire by age 65. Kenneth, I already know that you've already started this process because you've learned the good life a long time ago. How important is it to really start paying attention to these types of things?
It's so important. As a matter of fact, right now I'm working with a lot of schools, and my 8 o'clock appointment this morning was at one of the schools with one of the teachers, because in most cases, if you look at your retirement, I don't care if you're in the fire department, and we see a lot of that's played out in the media soon here, Social Security, teachers' retirement, different things like that. If you look at what you're going to retire on, it's not the same amount of money that you're going to have today.
Right.
Most people can't afford to take a 25% hit on their income today. Tomorrow they couldn't take it 5 years ago, which means we have to do something differently about that.
Exactly. And what we're going to do differently about that is to take care of ourselves and to figure out how much money we need to save each day to become a millionaire by age 65. Well, Kenneth, how early did you start this process? Because, sometimes it's harder to start when you're younger. It's harder to start when you're older. But how
That's
important
right.
is it just to start taking a little bit every day or every month or every quarter and putting it on the side?
Well, what I did, I started participating in a 401k when I was, in my 20s at work, but I didn't understand the 401k at that time and didn't understand really what it did and how it all worked. So consciously putting money to the side, I think at the age of 30 was when I really had a great understanding of the importance of letting money grow, diversifying my money, and put myself in a position where money could start working for me. I did a really good job, I think, at the age of 30. Leading up to that, I had the desire to want to know more. I wanted to change my situation. I didn't like it. I knew there was a difference between people who were wealthy and free and those who struggle from check to check and barely made it, or payday loans and things like that.
Right.
And I just had a strong desire because I didn't like the other way.
Right.
Because people always say, Arlene, and I love it. I don't care what seminar I'm at or wherever I go. People's like, well, money don't make you happy. And I said, well, being broke don't make you happy either. I did that way already.
Right.
Did it very well. So
right. You said I did it very well. We are here on Money Money discussing the best investment for 2016, and that is yourself. So we are giving you the simplest starting point. And, of course, it is to start in your own employer's 401k plan, or if you have your own business, to make sure that you start your own 401k. But we have a chart, and while the numbers in the chart are not exact, and I did get this from Business Insider, for simplicity, it does not take into account the impact of taxes, and it's a 12% as a high rate of return. So I'm giving you all of that before so you know exactly what this is. So this is, giving you an idea of how you should come up with couple extra dollars each day and how it can make an enormous difference in the long run, particularly if you start saving at a young age. And we have Kyle on the boards today. Kyle, how old are you? Kyle is 20, so that's perfect. So if you're starting at age 20, a daily savings of $2 or a monthly savings of $61, a yearly savings of $730 will make you a millionaire by age 65. Look, Kyle's like, I can do that. But look, exactly. You're like, oh, I'm 20. I can do that. Now start putting that, we have a lot of, more mature listeners. But if we start putting that in our children's mind at the age of 20, if you start saving $2 a day and investing it and saving it, you can be a millionaire by the age 65. How many parents out there are going to start being like putting that to their child? You save 60, that's basically 66. Well, let's make it $61 because that's what it says. $61 a month. They can become a millionaire. They'll be out your hair. You won't be worried about them anymore. And if you teach them that and start putting those tools in place for them and having them really understand how much their dollar works, what a difference they can live, what a good life they can live, what a good life you can live, right, Kenneth?
That's exactly right. And it is a small thing. It's just like that. It doesn't have to be the lottery, the mega Powerball, whatever it is, the $300 million. You can become a millionaire on purpose.
Exactly. Now, how many people, didn't start at 20? Let's just say you started at, well, I'm not 30, but let's just say we have some 30-year-old listeners, because I know we do. We have they're the young professional generation, right, Kenneth?
That's right.
Our young professionals. You're out there, you're working, you're starting to pay back all of your school loans, or you've kind of already started paying that, but you're like, how can I find the time or the money to start saving all of this? I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to do the other. This is a whole new account you're asking me to start. How can I find the money for this? Well, you find the money for Starbucks every day, don't you? You find the money to eat out. You find the money for this, that, and the other. If you found $6.35 a day, that being $193 a month, you could be a millionaire by the age 65. Starting at 30.
That's right.
$6.35 a day? Kenneth, we eat that. We use that on new tennis shoes. You're trying to build up your wardrobe when you're into a new environment or something like that. You can save $6.35 a day. That's $193 a month. That means not buying a pair of shoes and a couple Starbucks a month.
And not only that, how important is that cable to you?
There you go.
The last time I checked, if you don't meet that bill at 65 or 50, whenever it is, Disney Channel is off the air. So
right.
How important is that that cable channel, because I know you're spending that amount of money right there on the cable, especially you got the NFL ticket.
Right. Exactly. And Kenneth, I really wanted to go into that as well. Maybe not using, being like actively saving the money, but finding the money to save in other places. How can we do that?
Well, basically, we got to know where the money's going. And that's the first thing. You got to have an awareness of where is my money going. Once you are aware, it's so many areas in your budget that you would like, I didn't even think about this. Kind of like we talked about, a few months back about the auto drafts that's coming out of our account. We all have them. $9.95 here, $12 here. There's
and you don't even miss
all
it
in our accounts.
Right. You don't even miss it because they take it automatically. You don't even know that you have it, basically.
That's right.
And that's not the good life.
This principle plays out in our life all the time, Eileen. And I was sharing with a client on Saturday. I said, the reason why you got a lot of money in your 401k and the reason why you don't have any money in the savings account is because they take the money from you before you touch it. Before you even realize that it existed. Because if they take it out automatically, then you're like, oh, I'm starting with $500. Okay, well, this is what I have to work with. Well, you didn't realize that it really was $750 in there, and they took that out and put it in savings, right? That's right. So it's all about having a discipline, but also not only discipline, being honest with yourself and putting yourself in a position where these things, if you know you're a spender, I'm a spender, especially when I'm out of town. I like to spend. Mm-hmm. But I know me, I'm real with me, and I realize I got to put things in place to protect me from me. So we have to, think about where is my money going, write a list. Then from there say, I need to set up something that's coming auto draft that I can't touch. I don't want no debit card attached to it. Right. That's putting money away to allow me to still enjoy myself, but also protect me from me. Absolutely. So we're going to, let's just say we aged 5 years in the last minute. So now we're 35. Our daily savings at 35 would be $11.35, with a monthly savings of $345 and a yearly savings of $4,144. Let me give that to you again. If you wanted to become a millionaire by the age 65, you would be saving $11.35 a day, $345 a month, or $4,144 a year. If you save those amounts, you could build $1 million by the age of 65. How many of us at age 35 could save $345 a month? Y'all could do it. We can absolutely do it because let's say it's the cable bill. How many times did you say be a master asker? If we become a master asker, we can find this money, and we don't even have to spend it. We can just get it back. Our cable bills, our cell phone bills. Didn't you say that's one of the biggest ways to find some money? Ask them for your mobile phone, especially during Christmas. They want to give a new deal for everybody. That's exactly right. All the time. It's so many different options. And one thing I'm big on, you'll hear me say this a lot, it's all made up. All this stuff is made up. They can do it for free. If Eileen's a dentist and I'm her friend and I don't have any money, Eileen can actually do the dental work for free. She has a skill set. It's made up. It's all made up. So just ask, because you never know. You never know what's available. But also, too, priorities. I'm a Starbucks fan. Mm-hmm. And I'm in Starbucks. I'm looking at that line, and I'm like, you know what? 90% of the people here shouldn't be spending this money like this. Mm. So what other things do we do like that? I remember when we were discussing our budgets and really honing in on it and paying attention to it. I pay too much money on food. How many people out there listening spend too much money on food? Number one, when you start cooking for yourself, you become healthier because you actually know what's in your food, and you save money. So there's literally no downfall. And start bringing your lunch to work. That's right. Let's just do it 3 times a week. Let's just say 2 times a week. How much can you save if you start bringing your lunch to work and become a master asker? You can save yourself a lot of money. And there are a couple other different ways. Kenneth, wasn't one of them life insurance? Yeah, life insurance is another way that you can actually start accumulating money, but also gaining interest on that money as well with the right you mentioned 12%. I got a lot of clients in life insurance investments that we have right now for them. Mm-hmm. They're getting 12.5% on their money, building more money than they were building anywhere else. So knowing those options, but we also first have to make a decision. That's where it starts at. You have to decide, I want to do this. Because if you're not committed mentally, you'll start it, but it'll be done before Tuesday.
Exactly. So
before relationship Tuesday kicks in,
right.
It'll be off the plan already.
So the biggest investment you can make for 2016 is yourself. So we're discussing how much money you need to save each day to become a millionaire by age 65. You do not want to miss it. When we get right back, we're going to start at age 40. We're going to go to 50 and 55 when we get back. So if you're in that range, you do not want to miss it. Make sure you stay tuned for Money Monday with Kenneth Barnes. We'll be right back.
Hello, WBOK listeners. This is Chuck Perkins, your Uptown Renaissance man. Join me every Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to noon for the Midday Mashup. It's where we discuss everything from politics to poetry. Remember, the Midday Mashups every Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. until noon on WBOK 1230 a.m., where it's real talk for real times.
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh from my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Showtime in the afternoon with John Slade is moving to 3 to 4 p.m. weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Continuing the message with your issues, your news, and your views. Still here on your station, WBOK 1230 AM. Remember, Showtime in the afternoon with John Slade is moving to 3 to 4 p.m. weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Continuing the message on WBOK 1230 AM. Real talk for real times.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over. The wait is officially over. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and I have my partner in wealth, Kenneth Barnes from KB Enterprises on the line. Good morning, Kenneth, and welcome back to The Good Life. We are here discussing the most important investment you can make for 2016, and that investment is you. We have started with how much money you need to save each day to become a millionaire by age 65. We have discussed that you need to start with $2 a day at age 20, at $6.35 each day at 30, and we're going to jump into 40 right after we go into the lines with Coleman, so make sure you stay tuned. We have Coleman on line 2. Coleman, welcome to The Good Life. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Irene, and your guests. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Look, let me tell you your audience, a little trick, and your guest's going to amen that.
Okay.
You could take out a $100,000 whole life policy. Instead of putting the money in the bank, put it in your policy, add to the cash value. Insurance companies pay more than banks do. And I'm going to just say, for instance, you put in, let's just say $50 a month, like $600 a year. Before you know it, you'll be sitting on big bucks. But you have to have a commitment to saving. And then once you pull it out at age 65, you really wouldn't need no insurance, but you could go with a term life if you just want to make the insurance company pay for your death. But if you have longevity in your family, you will not use that policy, because the cutoff is somewhere around about 65. They may raise it or so, but you want to take out the whole life policy for as long a period as you can. And your guest would echo that about the cash value. You pay into your cash value. And also you can use it for a loan if you really need to. But that's the I'm gonna just say shortcut to establishing some wealth. Because you could put a policy up if you're buying a house. You could pledge your policy as collateral.
Wow, Coleman, that is absolutely great advice. Kenneth.
He is right on the money with that, because when you look at the perfect example, when you look at a bank loan application, one of the things under the asset column is cash value life insurance, what he's talking about. So when I first started out years ago, I'm like, I didn't know a lot about IRAs, mutual funds, annuities, SEP plans, and all these type of things. I'm like, what does this mean? When they say CDs, I thought they were talking about Lil Wayne. I got some CD, a bunch of those. I was so uneducated. It was unbelievable. It was bad. But he's right on the money, because cash value life insurance is an asset. And that's something that I've actually used cash value life insurance that I cashed in to put down payments on investment properties when I was starting out in my early 20s.
Really?
Yeah, it adds to your net worth.
That's right. He's right on the money with that.
Thank you so much, Coleman, for your call. That's exactly what The Good Life is all about. I appreciate that, Coleman.
I usually charge for that advice, but I'm trying to help my people.
Yes, that's The Good Life.
You got to help them.
Absolutely.
Get to the next level.
That's what The Good Life is all about.
Independent and not dependent.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Coleman, that's what The Good Life is all about.
I really appreciate that call.
Sharing our information.
That's why we do what we do.
Absolutely. And if there's anyone else out there that has information like that could really help the community, please give us a call at 504-260-9265. This is what we do on Mondays. We talk about how we can create generational wealth, how our community can do it together. Who wants to be sitting at the top of the hill by yourself? It's not fun by yourself. But if we all rise up and we do it together, how much more fun can we have? How much more of a good life can we all live? And when it's generational wealth, y'all, nobody can take that away from you. And that's the good life. So, Kenneth, do you want to, I know he was explaining it, but can you break it down a little bit more exactly what he was saying?
Yeah, well, basically, they have several different insurance type of policies. There's a whole life term. That's what they call return of premium. There's index universal life, universal life. There's so many different types. And years ago, they used to call them burial policies. Generations before, they would call them burial policies because they didn't want to leave burdens on their family to have to bury them. But since that time and since those days, there's been so many other different products under the whole life and also term life guidelines. And basically, what it is, it becomes because insurance companies and banks are almost synonymous. So the insurance rates that you're able to get off of those cash values a lot of times pay higher, in most cases pay higher than what you'll make in the savings account. So you can grow your money faster that way. So if, Eileen, you have your money growing at 12%.
Mm-hmm.
And my money is growing at 2%.
Yeah, I want mine to be bigger than yours.
Absolutely. And we both contributed $100 a month at the same time, same $100.
Right.
But you grow at 12, I grow at 2. You're going to get to your $1 million mark a lot sooner than I am because it's no comparison. So what he's doing is leveraging the higher yielding tool to be able to get there. So you're killing a couple of birds with one stone, like I was sharing with a client in a scenario like that. One, you're going to have life insurance in place, which you need to have, and we're a big advocate. Any client of mine, that's the first thing we put in place because it's their foundation. We got to have life insurance because guess what? We're all working to build something for our families, but we don't know when it's our time to go home. So one thing we want to secure is that your family's going to be in a great position. Most people, and I had a client this morning I dealt with, her dad committed suicide.
Wow.
No insurance. So not only are her and her sisters already financially strapped, they had to figure out how they were going to bury him. So you're talking about a scenario that could have been prevented if you, and I'm not saying anybody should do that, but you have to put life insurance in place because let me tell you the difference in scenario. And we see this with families all the time where the family member die and the church has to do a love offering or we got to do a supper and or call around and everybody donate something where if they would have put $50 a month on some insurance, now the family has a couple of $100,000.
Couple $100,000.
Life off.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Two different scenarios for the same $50 a month.
You can send them off in a totally different manner as well.
Absolutely. Plus, they can leave a legacy that will change the generations. So before I even got a chance to start putting my $2 away per month for the investment tool to get build cash value, that life insurance guarantees my family will have $1 million or so.
So if we're putting this money into a insurance account where we could be yielding the 12%, that's a much better road and path to take, correct?
That's right. And you got to find the right one. You got to find the right one that actually shows those illustrations, and that's why we sit down with our clients. So there's different type of products. They have a ton of products under the insurance guidelines and things like that yield different ones and have different ways that the yield comes. Some is based on the S&P 500. They call them index, so you get all the growth of the market. Some are fixed, where you might be at like 5% guaranteed or 4% guaranteed, which 4% is still way better than getting a CD in the bank.
Right. So we really want to make sure that you choose the right one for you and your situation in life. So this may be an option for you. We're planting a seed. Different things work for different people, but this could be a great option for you to be able to grow your money and invest and leave generational wealth. So we want people to really look into this because that is the good life. And if you're 40 years old, don't think I forgot about you. I'm not there yet. But if you're 40 years old, your daily savings would, for the amount of money that you need to save to become a millionaire by age 65 would be $20.55. $20.55, which would be a monthly savings of $625 and a yearly savings of $7,500. Do y'all see how that jumped from 35 to 40? At 35, the daily savings was $11.35. The daily savings at 40 was $20.55. That's a big jump.
Big jump.
That's a big jump. So what are we learning here? The sooner you start, the better.
That's right.
The sooner,
That's exactly
the better.
How it works.
And so, Kenneth, if you're 45, I know this doesn't apply to us right now, but, if you're 45, I'm going to go from 45 to 55, and then we'll discuss after that so everybody can really get their information in. If you are 45, your daily savings to become a millionaire by the age 65 would be $38.02. $38.02. That will be a monthly savings of $1,157, monthly savings $1,157, and a yearly savings of $13,879. And I am getting this from BusinessInsider.com. If you started at the age of 50, which only gave you 15 years to be a millionaire by 65, if you started at 50, you would need a daily savings of $73.49, a monthly savings of $2,235, and a yearly savings of $26,824. And last but not least, because at 60, y'all, is just kind of, I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm also saying to become the millionaire would be a lot of money. At 55, your daily savings will be $156.12. Your monthly savings will be $4,749, and your yearly savings will be $56,984. So I'm going to give it all to you again by daily savings. If you start at age 20, your daily savings would be $2. If you start at age 25, your daily savings would be $3.57. If you start at age 30, your daily savings would be $6.35. Starting at age 35, $11.35. Starting at age 40, $20.55. Starting at age 45, $38.02. Starting at age 50, $73.49. And starting at age 55, $156.12. You would be able to build $1 million by age 65 in an account with a 12% increase. And that's one of your life insurance could probably give you that. But of course, I would obviously, number one thing to do is to get a financial advisor. And I'm sorry, we have one of those readily available in Kenneth Barnes. Kenneth, how can they contact you if they need help building their $1 million?
Absolutely. They can contact us at 504-577-4139. That's 504-577-4139. And just to clarify, it's 12.5 with us.
12.5 with you. 12.5%. And that is good life.
Right.
And that's why we talk to a financial advisor, because I am that one. That's why I have him. That is exactly why we have him, because, everybody does what they do well. Everybody has a different passion. Following the money and growing money is Kenneth's passion. Why not learn from someone who does that as, their life's purpose? Surround yourself by people who are smarter than you, y'all. That is the good life. And growing money is a matter of choices. So we have to make these choices every single day. Develop a written financial plan. We want you to save and, do it, by creating choices based on knowledge. Live below your means. Lay off the credit. I know it's that time of year. It's a holiday season, y'all, but lay off the credit. You will appreciate this advice in January, and start making your money work for you. And one of the things that Kenneth has said, and we always say, is start your own business. And I don't mean like go quit your job. I mean like start a little something on the side. Do something that makes you happy. Whether it's photography, you might find out, people start picking you up to do their weddings and things like that. You realize, wait, this is really making more money than I thought. It's bringing in like $2,000 and $3,000 extra a month. That's the good life. This is a way to create that $1 million, and that's in excess to what you make on a daily basis in your number one job. And last but not least, get professional advice. And again, that would be for me, Kenneth Barnes with KB Enterprises, because he exudes a good life and he leads us to that every day. Kenneth, how can they reach you one more time?
504-577-4139. 504-577-4139.
Any specifics from you? Any advice with how to become a millionaire? I know we kind of laid it out quickly this morning, but I think we touched on a lot.
And what I'd like to do is just recap everything we talked about. So first of all, we want to understand exactly where the money's going. Secondly, most of us spend most of the money out eating. So what we want to do is not only watch what we're eating, but we want to cook at home with healthier foods, because not only do we want to be a millionaire by 65 or way before, we want to be healthy as a millionaire, not laid up in the hospital and spending the money that we have on the side on medical bills. So we want to be vibrant, healthy, and wealthy.
Absolutely. And be a master asker. That's a great way to be able to find money that isn't directly coming out of your pocket. It's coming back to you. Be a master asker. You cannot find it unless you open your mouth and ask. And a lot of times we have trouble doing that, but the worst thing they can tell you is no. The best thing they can say is, well, how much? And we're like, ooh, I want more. Right, Kenneth?
That's right.
Because that is the good life. Right. That is the good life. The worst thing they can tell you is no. But you will never find out anything unless you open your mouth and ask. And so that is...
You know what, Eileen? One of the best places for them to start, and this is where I started working on my asking skills, negotiating skills, go down to the French market and negotiate on a wallet or a cell phone case. And get your skills up.
Yes.
Get a little practice in.
Yes. Go do your Christmas shopping in the French market and do a little negotiating. That's good life.
That's right.
We're hitting everything. We're becoming a tourist in our own city. We're putting our dollars back in the city, and we're working on our negotiation skills. That's a good life. You know what else is a good life? It is you becoming the breakout artist for the Good Life Radio Show. We are looking for new theme music. We want to debut your music January 2016. So can you deliver the good life? Let me know. I'm calling all musicians, DJs, artists, songwriters, Email your song to Eileen at tglradioshow.com. That's EILEEN at tglradioshow.com by December 25th. Entries will be played on air, and the winner will be played daily as my new theme music. So make sure you email me, Eileen at tglradioshow.com, and make sure you stay tuned for Relationship Tuesday tomorrow, y'all. Open your minds. Let's live differently, because that's a good life.